Good morning and welcome in everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a synopsis of what is transpiring across not just crypto, but across the broader markets. So right now we've got some volatility in crypto and maybe we'll get hot here as Bitcoin's up 700 points almost. You got a few things that are slightly up. DGB's up better than 6%. So we'll see if we have some outliers here to where crypto can get going. But we've got a key fundamental flaw right now. So we'll see how this affects us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But the Dow futures are getting smoked right now. I mean, absolutely smoked. You've got the Dow futures right now down 1,064 points in pre-market. You got the NASDAQ right now is down 3.4% in pre-market, and you've got the S&P 500 down 3.1% in pre-market. That's a massive spiral right now. So we're gonna see how we react when the market actually opens in about an hour and a half. We'll see how crypto responds when we finally get the day going. I like DGB, the fact that it's rotated right now. Hopefully, this isn't going to rotate back down. If this breaks out here, we have a small inverse head and shoulders. A little bit of hope this morning. Maybe it gets us back up to 1 cent, 1002, and start to compete in that area. But I'm very interested to see how this market reacts when we come online here. When the U.S. stock market opens, we know gold, silver is getting crushed this morning. Gold's down $47 an ounce or 1.5%. We can see some of the commodity or mining stocks in pre-market are getting smoked. We can see silver is getting smoked, down 4.4%. The U.S. dollar is getting just annihilated right now. It's down $2.1 or 2%. But I mean, if you look at it coming down from the 103 to the 101, it's like two whole percentage points. So that's a major come down. So we need to see the way that the market reacts in crypto. Overnight's been volatile. There's no doubt about it. XRP's holding on to the $2 handle by the skin of its teeth right now. We do have the section just below us, which is the support structure right here if we did end up coming all the way down. And then if that didn't hold, obviously, it could be a much farther pull down. We've looked at that $1.70. We've looked at the $1.50. We've looked at the $1.94 because that's the 200-day in the daily. But right now, this market is definitely very, very volatile. And it's going to lead for an interesting moment here. We'll see if we give this back and we end up coming through. Bitcoin right now could be a gigantic bear flag that's formed if you look at it in the smaller time frames. And now it looks like it could start that downward tug. If that's the case, we're coming under 80K. So it's a very dangerous morning. It looks like a bear flag formed here and that we got rejected in the 45 at that death cross. And if you measure it down, this gives you a measured move, assuming we can't reverse back up to 78,600. Like, I'm looking at some of them, and if Bitcoin comes down there, what does that mean for the rest of crypto? Like, I would love to see this just go up. We've got risk assets getting a little bit kicked in the nuts right now. You've got gold, silver, stock futures, a lot of different commodities, mining stocks. All this stuff is getting beaten down. Could this just be a moment where crypto could take some volatility? And I'm keeping my eyes on DGB to see if I can continue this movement, because hopefully this can be an outlier and the rest of the market starts to pick up here, because we're in a spot right now. Like, if you were watching the live with me last night during the tariff talk, it was much worse than we could have expected, because we were expecting a 10 to 20% across the board tariff. Instead, it was anywhere from 10 to 30 to 50, all the way up to 64% in one instance. So it's going to be a lot of false bravado here. There's going to be a lot of, people that aren't exactly sure what's going on. So these are the kind of days where, yes, I love seeing DGB running. I love seeing some other things. But I'm choosing to sit back and not accumulate anything right now, or further accumulate anything. And I'm waiting to see how this plays out, because this could be a transforming moment where it looks like everything's okay. You know, and it looks like everything should be able to have some kind of volatility to the upside. And then the U.S. wakes up in about an hour, hour and a half at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The West Coast wakes up at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard or Pacific Standard Time, and then the market starts to come through. So I want to see what happens. I want to see if we can get a volatility crunch to the top side with all of the markets kind of, fading. I want to see if we can get some kind of liquidity to the top side. With that being said, good morning. 8:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I gotta go soon. I gotta take my son to his GI doctor. He's got a G tube, so they just try. It's like a 10-minute appointment. But it's just, they go over things, weigh him, make sure everything's good. And then we take him to school after. And then we've got his, what's today? Thursday, speech therapy after. So he's got a very busy day today. We're going to have the workers in our house again today. So I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. So we'll do this update. And then this afternoon when my son's in therapy, I'll do a second one. And then tonight, around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, assuming everything's going good, I will do my live. And it's going to be a heck of a day today. We're going to have a heck of a volatility. So we're going to have to go from there. We talked about XRP, the short-term support. Let's just say it falls through there. Then we're looking at the technical drop, which actually gets us right around that 200-day now. Around 196 now. I believe the 200-day and the daily's worked its way up a little bit, so this makes perfect sense. Because it's been working its way up, so 200-day in the daily, yeah, it's right on, just below this $1.96. It's right at about, it's still at $1.94, perfect. But we have this engulfing daily candle to the downside, which, I don't know, with what's going on in stock futures, we're going to have to see something really incredible here out of the crypto. Otherwise, we're going to start to join our friends in commodities, the stock futures, stock NASDAQ, Russell 2000, the S&P 500. It's looking brutal in those aspects. Bitcoin being below 83,000 is astounding. Not because we're surprised, but just the way it rallied yesterday when it came up here, we even talked about it. If it doesn't hold this is the start of a big reversal down. And it went all the way up to 88,500. And then it's fallen off. Even now we're at 82,800. That's like, we're almost $6,000 down from the top when Trump was talking. So I want to see us get some kind of upward volatility. I want to see DGB being a front runner and not an outlier to a further fall. I want to see this start to take some shape here. Otherwise, we already know the depths we could fall. And it's like, do we really want to go down this road? The next step for Bitcoin would be about 78,600, then 74, and then ultimately down the back test that cup and handle breakout on the handle itself at 64,196 level. We have a death cross confirmed here in the daily. We got rejected on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight daily candles below the 200 and the 20-day. We've had 1, 2, 3, 5 in a row now below the death cross. So, I mean, this is looking more and more like we could get a volatile spike to the downside. But we'll see. Like we said, we have an outlier with DGB up 6.5%. 5.9%. The case remains. But my nerves tell me that we could just fall off here as the U.S. starts waking up. Especially what's going on when they start to see this Dow futures and the NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 and the S&P, the futures. And then they start looking for the safe havens and they see gold's down $47 an ounce and silver's down 4.5%. That's not things that lead to confidence. They look at risk assets and like, hey, DGB's up 5.8%, a lot of red. XRP's up 0.5%. But you can't really go to many places where you're seeing like, oh, this is a big move. Because now you got MXC down another 4.4%. I feel like that's outrunning the market. Like this is front running what's coming. Because it was also stuck in a consolidation zone like this where it looked like it could move. And the technical drop that we had targeted was down to 113. But we'll see if that continues playing out. But that's what I mean. The market, every time it goes up, it's coming farther down. So excuse me for not having extreme confidence right now, but I'm still not going to look at it with no eyes or visual. I want to see what happens when the U.S. wakes up. I can't imagine it's going to be great, but that's why we're here in Transparent. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I'm going to release this because I got to get my son to his GI doctor. Have a blessed morning, everybody. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Thursday morning, despite the fact it's going to be very busy for me. I do better when I have a lot of stuff to do, so we'll do this. I'll release this. We'll get another update out around noon. Get another live out about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if anything needs to be done in between any of it, I'll do it. Have a blessed morning, everybody, and thank you so much for being the best part of my day. Literally, I love each and every one of you.